Greetings. In the name of the Most High, unfortunately, I'm going to have to move a little bit here. And yeah, I'm still in my chair because of my breathing issues. Okay, so, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. That's one of the best men we've had in America ever. And I used to watch him when I couldn't sleep. He had a whole bunch of these little 15-minute talks he would do at campuses on YouTube. And so I would just scroll through them in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep. And I was always amazed at his rhetorical, his rhetoric capabilities, his speech, his eloquence, and his sharp wit in taking care of falsehoods and, kind of putting down not people, but falsehoods while still respecting people that have different views. And he was absolutely, better than anyone, absolutely better than me. He was a really spectacular man. And if we had more people like him, and that's, I guess what I want to say is the reason they went after him, because this was a planned hit involving, I know assassins and assassinations, so I understand how many people have to be involved, many involved in this. And they chose Charlie because he's so effective. He tipped the youth vote to Trump, and Trump would not have won the last election without Charlie Kirk converting so many young people away from the programming. It's really the thing when you say the left, it's not the left, it's the programmed versus the non-programmed. And there's people programmed on both sides of a political issue. But we're beyond left and right. We're really more in a realm of good and evil. And anyway, so I wished I had heard him speak when I was that age, because I went down a lot of wrong paths trying to find the truth, and didn't find it. But he was with it, and he was also setting an example of a brave warrior, the kind of people that America is really known for. And so there will be writing about him for years to come. There will be documentaries, statues. History will remember Charlie Kirk. The other one I heard that people are saying that the one on the train, the woman from the Ukraine, the refugee on the train, was a psyop and all that. And I said, well, that may be. I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is that there's no psyop now. This is real. Charlie Kirk was murdered by a sharpshooter and by a professional. There's no question in my mind about that. And the bullet sounded smaller. Someone said a 22. I'd say it could have been a sniper rifle. It could have been an AR that's geared for, and scoped for about 200 yards. But more typically, it would have been a hunting rifle of some kind, or what you should do with a 30 caliber, 30-06, something like that. Anyway, yeah, I definitely it was sadness, because I knew that things will never be the same again for your children and your children's children. If you should go that long, things will never be the same. We will be in a state of chaos. And we've talked about this, what Trump's trying to do with the economy, and then talked about, the Epstein thing and this thing and that thing. And all these are like little distractions. And I'm trying to get, my mind off of those and onto the bigger picture, which is avoiding the singularity. The bigger picture is avoiding the technocracy, avoiding the mark, or if you will, the digital ID, avoiding programming, and which is one reason Charlie Kirk never went to college, because he didn't want to be programmed. He didn't want to be sucked into this very powerful nihilistic program of, people reinforcing that their lives are fucked. There's no way forward. It's all the fault of the evil white European immigrants, or whatever the thing is. It's all built to lead to a war. It's all built to lead to, to get everyone divided and fighting. Divided a house cannot stand. And it's by people that want to take down the USA in favor of globalism. We know who they are. And we probably, they know already who put the shooter up to it. They probably even know how much was transferred to his bank account. So what I want to suggest to Trump and anybody who's listening, this is not the time to do what you've done with all these other cases, which is bungle them. I mean, either put up or shut up. I mean it. People are beyond the pale now. And it's like if, just a wild statement. Let's say if George Soros or his son paid, or there was a payments through dummy corporations, then the source, one of these globalists paid for it, then without hesitation, it doesn't even matter what the charges are, they need to be removed from the scene. They need to be arrested, and they need to be neutralized so they cannot do harm again, and then you can build your case later. But you probably know who all the players are. But all this, like, I can't arrest you, I can't, oh yes, we have a crime here, but we have no one in custody. We really can't arrest anybody because we have a habit now of not arresting anyone for anything except little people who don't have enough money to get out of a case. People that don't matter anyway in the long run. So it's either put up or shut up. I mean, because if you don't put up, if you don't do something, and I mean of a radical nature at this point, and put fear into the minds of people that would, right now, just let me, mention this. Pia just sent me a clip of people around the internet celebrating the death. And I don't know, no free speech goes to that. I would say curtail free speech then until this is ironed out, because there really needs to be, enough is enough. And this man, if anybody I know, this guy didn't deserve to go that way. Of all the people that I could think of right now that are in social media influencers and all that, this was a force for good. And anyone that would laugh at something like this can be labeled certifiably insane. And there's your pretext for taking them away to a detention center, wherever they have to go. But there cannot be any more of this, open season. Wild, wild west, people just shooting each other and nobody ever getting to the bottom of it, no justice ever being done. Nothing but worse and worse and worse and worse situation. So that's my plea, that instead of just becoming frightened and going in your corner, I'd say double down on what Charlie was doing, which is get out there amongst them and fly to wherever you're going to fly, do what you're going to do, and don't let anybody like this deter you from living your life. And if they do, in so doing, you would be doing an act of courage that would be helpful, because if they do anything to you, something, some mishappenstance or something that happens, some mishap, that it obviously, enough of this, people have to, move on your behalf. People have to move on Charlie's behalf. They can't just sit there. They can't just sit there and go, well, we have the entire FBI working on it, but we just don't have any suspects yet. But be patient, we will. That's all bullshit. I'll bet they know exactly who did what, and they're just trying to figure out how do we get, they're armed, we're all armed, how do we, well, that's right, but that's your job. It's how do we neutralize this threat, and then let's go neutralize the threat. It's not how do we do it, gee, they're armed, we better stand down. We better be cowards. We better not arrest them. We better not ruffle the feathers of the delicate, world order or a global order. We better, just try to spin this the right way so people don't forget that it's a great disservice that's been done. And the reason the boiling point is beyond the boiling point is because justice is not served. Justice has not been served. Justice is not served by pretending to, whatever it is. If you're going to dump the Epstein thing, dump it. But this talking about things and we're looking into it and all that, it's a bunch of hogwash. And people are I'm telling you, they won't take it anymore. This is it. Charlie will be the hill they die on. And if they do die, that's your fault. American government, it's your fault for not backing up people that are patriots and shitting on people that are, anti, America, whatever it is. I'm personally, I guess I was labeled a libertarian, limited government, rule of law, favorable, conditions for growing a business, taking care of a family, whatever. I mean, I know these are exotic things to be able to, just have a shot at having, a life without, it doesn't have to be luxurious or anything. It just has to be something doable. And if you can't do that, then resign. You too, Trump, if you can't do anything, if you're going to get stuck there and get spun around by the latest Middle East thing or terrorism and the Putin and Ukraine and all that, and not take care of this stuff, then resign. Seriously. The problem is not Ukraine or Russia, and the problem is not, Israel or Gaza. The problem is the USA. That's the problem right now. And either shore it up or get off the throne. And that's it. That's all I got to say. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk.